Hello, happy Thursday. Welcome to the show. Y'all, the kids are back in school. How is everybody enjoying the quiet house? It's crazy. I don't like going to the store. I really love my online shopping. And I think that so many of us did the school supply orders through the same place that they've run out of stock. I've been getting notifications. Your stuff is out of stock. We're just canceling your order. Oh, goodness gracious. It is school time, y'all. School time. All right, let's get into these topics for today. I've got a couple people who said they're going to be joining me on the show today. We will see. One is worried he's going to be in traffic, so we'll see if he comes through. I know my buddy Willie is going to be on tonight. Let's go through the topics that we have. Hey, Garnett. Thank you for tuning in. Look, he already knows what time it is. He's tuning in from Pittsburgh, PA today. Kenny is checking in from Washington, D.C. Good evening, Kenny. Good to have you on the show. If anybody is a newbie on the show, drop the word newbie and let me know where you're watching from. We can give you an extra special shout out. All right, so let's get into these topics that we have for this evening. We got a couple. Scroll. Here we go. The very first one. What is your biggest frustration with dating apps? Ask the guys that. If you're new to my page and you don't know, I ask the men on my private men's page a question every day, Monday through Friday, and then we go over some of their answers here. Number 2, men over 40. Do you feel that there are fewer opportunities to meet new people now? Number 3, what do you find harder, meeting someone new or connecting deeply with them? Number 4, when past trauma comes up, how do you handle it in dating? And number 5, do you think there is anything about you that women think makes you undateable? You should be interesting. I haven't looked at any of them yet. We got Melanie tuning in. Hey, Melanie, good to have you back. Watching from outside Philly. I do remember that from last time too. Tay's in the house. Hey, girl. Hey, newbie. Good to have you guys. All right, so we are going to get into some topics. I was scrolling through and let's see. Hang on just one second. Oh, okay. I thought this was an urgent message here. We're going to get into some crazy topics. So check this out. Let me know what you would do in the comment. By the way, let me ask you, those of you who are watching, do you like going straight to the 5 questions off top? Or do you like easing into them with having some of the trending stories? Do you like the stories first or the questions first? Let me know in the comment which one you prefer. And let's see. Hang on. Someone's saying they can't hear. I don't know if it's just them or if it's y'all. So let me know if you can't hear. Oh. Thank you so much. So I got question number 5 up. Okay. So let me know what you like. Okay. Melanie said stories first. Okay. So obviously you guys can hear. She just answered. Stories first. Or do you like the questions first? Go ahead and drop. We got a couple people watching right now and you can hear. Okay. Good. All right. So let's see what everybody else says. And Melanie's just going to decide for everybody if nobody else votes. You got the power. Okay. All right. So we're going to proceed. Okay. So we got 2 votes for the stories. We're going to go with the stories. Oh, Tay just voted in for questions first and then the stories. You got outnumbered so far. All right. You are 2-1. Let's see if we can get two votes to even this thing out. Let's get a couple more. I don't know who the others of you are. We only have the people voted who said hi so far. Kenny was early. Anyone else? Do you like getting the stories, the trending stories first or the questions first? We got 2 votes for stories first, 1 vote for questions first. All right. I'm going to move into the stories because it's taking a while. There's a lag when it comes to live stream, so it's always hard asking questions in real time. But we're going to move on because it is just weird to wait. Okay, here's the first story. I'm just going to let it play because it explains it itself. But I want to know which you guys think would have been the better thing to do as friends. All right, check this out.
Viral video going around of some friends with the caption, POV, your friend died on our way to the Beyonce concert, but we enjoyed it for him. This got the internet talking, and people are split about going to the concert when your friend just passed away. The creator, @Vitor, gave an explanation of what happened on TikTok. Listen to this.
We got into the subway. He started feeling this really strong chest pains. He had pre-existing heart conditions, so we were a bit worried, and then it got worse and worse. So we got out of the train. We called the ambulance, and by the time they arrived, he had fainted, and the paramedics told me that he was no longer breathing, so he was dead. And me and this other friend who was with us, we didn't really know what to do. Should we go home? What should we do? So we decided to go to the concert anyway, because we really truly think that's what he would have liked. Beyonce.
Wow.
You selfish punk.
Yeah.
Really?
What should they have, I mean, should they have gone to the concert? Should they have stayed home to mourn?
They should have went to the concert. I tell my daughters this all the time. If you guys are in the middle of doing something and you get a call that mom is not here anymore, go do what you were working on, because I'm gone. These friends got together and bought these tickets to go to the show. So their friend probably would have still wanted them to go and have a good time.
But it's different if you call your daughter and you weren't, like somebody calls and something happened to you and you weren't there. They was on the way to the concert with their friend who died, and they're like, oh man, he ain't gonna make it, but we are.
But it wasn't like that, Craig.
No, that's exactly what it was. Like, they watched their man take his last breath,
Yes,
and they're like, yo, man, you know how much these tickets were? And even if you do go to the concert, you ain't supposed to be seen having the best time.
There is not a world in which I could have gone to the concert. If you were with me and I died, my phone is there. You can call my parents. But instead, you're out here going like to the single ladies and filming yourself at the concert.
Maybe they went to the hospital after the show.
Maybe they did call the parents and
Maybe,
see.
yeah.
I mean, but death is it's a sad thing, but I don't know. I look at it a little bit differently. It's also a beautiful thing.
But
Yeah, that is very different. I feel like if it was a very good friend of mine, I feel like I'd be too emotional to be able to go. And I mean, from the practical side is like, yes, you probably paid a lot of money and you had plans to go. And you are literally there, like en route. But yeah, I just feel like emotionally, I'd be really, really torn up. You are muted, but welcome to the stage, Mr. Beeman. Good to have you, sir.
And I thought I was waiting on you the whole time. So here we go.
Yeah, when the cameras are off, I always assume people aren't ready to come on yet. So I was like, okay. Oh, now you're muted again, unless that was intentional.
My bad. That was my fault. Thank you.
Yeah. So did you hear that story?
I did not. I couldn't hear you at all until I realized that my speakers were turned off somehow. I think my son played my game while I was asleep.
So there were three friends. They had plans to go to a Beyonce concert, and they took public transportation, I believe, to go. And one of the friends started having chest pains. He ends up passing away before the concert, and they still went. And then there's a video of them looking like they're having like a great time. Hey, Falake, good to see you. And so the debate was, would you still go to the concert? Because they said that they went in honor of him. And then others were saying like, I'd be too shook. It's like, yeah.
No, those are the most trash friends ever. There's no way.
I just don't see how I could, like, I've had situations where somebody passed away suddenly and all everybody wanted to do was get together and be around the people who were left. You're just like devastated and comforting the ones who like, that just, I don't, it don't look right. Somebody said if you're going to go, at least don't post a video. But the fact that like they did this what do you call it? The caption says, hold on.
There's a viral video going around of some friends with the caption, POV, your friend died on our way to the Beyonce concert, but we enjoyed it for him.
like that wording just sounded crazy, but we enjoyed it for him. Like, yeah.
I'm
It just,
already wondering why it's two girls and a guy going to a Beyonce concert. That already gives me, it's weird.
well, they're probably girlies, I'm assuming. Most of the guys that go. Yeah, so that was different. So we took a vote. Kenny said I would come back and haunt them if my friends ever went to a Beyonce concert.
Yeah, they better not come to my funeral because I'm gonna curse their children's children.
Oh my goodness. And I feel like there'd be an association with hearing Beyonce songs after that for like if I was the person who's passed away's loved one. So we took a vote. You couldn't hear. We took a vote to say, do you like the questions first or the the trending topics first? And we got 2 votes for topics first and 2 votes for the stories, the questions first. So you could be the tiebreaker and take a vote. What do you prefer?
Do the topics first, or like the questions first. We can do trending topics last.
Okay. There you have it, guys. Tiebreaker is in. All right. Well, since we already started with the stories, we're just going to keep it up and then we'll move into the questions. All right. So this one was actually one that you shared with me, but I think that the good people should know this. Oh, I forgot to put the little topic up. Let's put this up here. Okay. Check this out, y'all.
Insane. So ChatGPT can now see your screen and watch exactly what you're doing in real time. Okay, so you're gonna wanna come over to ChatGPT, click on the voice mode, and then you're gonna click on these 3 dots and you'll see a thing called share screen. And now once you see that, you can then click on that and it's gonna start to broadcast with ChatGPT. Hey Clove, I'm wondering, could you show me or tell me how to change the time on my phone?
Absolutely. I can walk you through that. So on your iPhone, you'll want to head into your settings app first. From there, you're going to scroll down and tap on General. Inside the General settings, you'll see an option called Date and Time. Just tap that and you can either set the time automatically or toggle it off to set it manually. Let me know if you need any more help as you go along.
And just confirming, you can see my screen right now.
Yep, I can see it just fine.
Thanks, you're awesome.
You're absolutely welcome.
So this was obviously just a simple example, but I want you to imagine having it guide you through building a sales funnel or even closing a client deal in real time. Drop me a follow if you guys want to see more crazy ChatGPT.
Woo! What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's cool or do you think it's creepy? Or if you're Jacob, you think her face is shiny. It is definitely glowing. Yeah, I feel like with a lot of things, I can see how it could be helpful, but I'm also creeped out. It's like equal parts creeped out and equal parts impressed. Yeah. See, Melanie said that's scary. It's like, because the whole thing about, oh, but you could turn it off. I never believe. I'm like, I just don't ever believe it's turned off. She said, no way. This is horrifying. I still like ChatGPT. Oh my. All right. So we got another one. This one is absolutely wild. I don't know. Did you see the article that I sent you so you could get the details? Because I'm not going to share all of these details.
Yeah, I saw the article.
Child, let me put this topic up here. Maryland man. Come on, Maryland. What is going on here? This headline says Maryland man charged after telling his friend he had a woman for him, but it was really him dressed as a woman. Now, I had to read this story because I was like, ain't no way. I have so many questions. Y'all. Sorry, I'm trying to say this with a straight face. There are some people. I just was watching a documentary today and I was like, wow, this guy had a really androgynous face. This football player, he was like so handsome, he almost looked pretty. And I was like, he almost looks like he could be a butch woman with short hair because he just had such a sexually ambiguous face, but just was like a beautiful face. This is not that. There's nothing ambiguous. There's nothing that would be confusing. The build, the face, like there's nothing that is confusing. So they said it's not a real story. And I did my research because sometimes people just make stuff up and they find a mugshot. Y'all, there, I will put the link in the comments so you guys can read this. This is insanity. Okay. Let me tell you what this thing says, y'all. It said that he was telling people he would get male victims and would do offensive things to them. Okay. It said he used his position as a hairdresser to make contact with some of his victims. He said he got his hair done. One victim said he got his hair done at the salon, and he said he offered to introduce him to some girlfriends who would be interested in meeting him. And a few days later, he contacted the dude and advised him that the girlfriend wanted to meet up and give him, we'll just say, fellatio, which that should have been your first thing. Like, that's not how women roll. Not women who are not women tonight. Like, no woman is like, oh, I want to meet your friend and give him, or like, that's just not how it happens with most women. So that should have been your first clue. So it said that the victim watched this dude go into the woods with a backpack. So allegedly the friends are hanging out in the woods waiting to give him more. Y'all just the story, okay? All right. So then he says because of how dark it was, he was unable to completely see the person's face. By the way, feel free to jump in at any point, Will, if you want to. Here's my thing. A random person I've never talked to just silently comes out of the woods. I don't care that the friend who's supposed to introduce me just disappeared, but they just silently come out and just get down their knees. Like, this story is crazy. So then it says that the victim told the police that the person began giving them fellatio. And as he was receiving that, he thought he saw what he thought was an outline of a beard and started to think the person was not a female, and that in fact it was this guy. It said, this is where it goes even crazier. The victim said he became scared and faked and why are we even needing to fake? Like, whose ego are we trying to stroke? Like, why do we even need to fake this? The victim said the person walked back into the woods, and a few minutes later this guy appeared. I'm sorry. It's like those really bad kid shows where they like the friend's like, I'm gonna go meet my friend. They walk away, come back with just a hat on, and they're like, hey, it's the other friend. You're like, no one ever noticed that the friend and you were never this. Okay. The victim advised he was still unsure at this point as to what happened. So that's why he made contact with this guy again and asked if he could set up a second meeting with the girlfriend. And then a few days later, he met up with the dude at his residence where he was supposedly going to be meeting the woman. He told the victim things worked out. He could start getting paid by these women to do what they were doing. He said the criminal told him to go into the bathroom and advised that he would come back with the girlfriend, who this guy has never seen. He witnessed the dude going into the restroom, and 7 minutes later, he saw a female-looking subject emerge. It's not dark of night anymore. It's no longer the dark of night. He said he recognized this female to be Brooks dressed, like a woman. He left the scene, and then no sexual acts took place. He said he consented to, the fellatio the first time, but the consent was given to a woman, not a man. Yeah. And so then this guy ended up confessing that he did do this. He changed into female clothing, put on a wig, gave oral, admitted he was not sure if the victim knew it was him and not a female. If I hadn't read it with my own eyes,
get out of here. I'll call you when I get out the garage.
I wouldn't have believed that at all. Come on. I feel like this is one of those situations where maybe the dude was down, but he felt so awkward about what had happened that he just had to go with this whole charade. Like, there's just so many things to the story. If I was a police officer, I don't think I could have kept a straight face taking the notes.
When I heard about this story, I was like, this is wild. And then I saw it was a black man, and I was so disappointed. The same way, like, I get disappointed when it's a school shooter.
Oh, the
Like
perp.
when when a school shooter is black, I'm kind of like, that ain't us, or like when somebody gets caught, cooking meth, that ain't us. I was certain that this was just not a. I just knew that this person's name was Trevor or Tanner or Chad or something like that, and not this big nigga named Jerome. Like that's crazy to me, and it's a lot of things that don't add up. Like as many men, I think most men know like what a woman sounds like when she gets on her knees, because y'all do it a little more graceful than we do. Like when we gotta get on our knee to tie a shoe, we just drop down. Y'all get down all cute and shit. So there's that part. The outline of a beard should have been a dead ass giveaway.
He
Because
looks like he's
again,
a mouth breather too.
I don't want nobody. Yeah, look how small his nostrils are. Like I don't want anybody that gets on their knees all like what I'm saying, like cumbersome like and shit. That's weird. You cumbersome with getting on your knees and you got a beard. Not trying to be funny, but it's not enough darkness in the world to hide that silhouette or facial structure or hair. Like even I think Ray Charles would know that was a nigga. Like I read all the details, right? Then we got to there's a part about the woods and shit. Like I think bro might be possessed by Jeffrey Dahmer, because that's the type of shit he was doing. I have yet to. I think I saw this like a week or two ago, and I sat with it for a couple days before I even sent it to you, and I was like, just this whole thing. Like I've never really been surprised by like quote unquote, like what do they say, nigga shit that sometimes people do. I've never really been surprised by it. This was one of the first times where I was like, you know what? This shit is weird. Like I feel like Diddy is in jail reading about this. Like I'm proud of you, Playboy. Like I just don't know how. And then like look at his face. Like that his face is scary. Like I feel like his eyes are probably the only thing you could see, and it's like a big black froed bearded blob. Like, and then again too, right? Just not as a man, this is something y'all probably don't understand. We feel y'all's chin during the act.
And I was gonna say he's probably touching shoulders and the top of the head, and
yeah, and like if your hands are too big, like hey, transparent moment. Mike's wife had very big hands. And when I tell you that the first time she grabbed my hips, I was like, whoa, like chill. Like, she's fit, so it's kind of strong. I just don't think that he is gentle. I don't see nothing about him being gentle. So I think this dude, and then the dude said he had to fake a O.
That was not necessary.
That's the part that will make me think that he was just probably like realized that, you know what, I ain't this gay. I gotta stop. And then he felt bad about it. The same way like a girl who gets caught cheating on her boyfriend feels bad about it and then says that the dude S8'd her. Right. Like it's one of those types of things, because again,
it doesn't make sense otherwise.
This is a big 300-pound nigga. Like I'm not trying to be funny, but nothing about him is dainty or says female passing.
Can you think of how awkward it would be? Like, just think about the woods, right? So if someone is at a park and then there's the woods, it's got to be a pretty good distance. How awkward is that you walked all the way from the woods to the park bench, wherever you were, and no words were exchanged?
Yeah, that's weird.
Silently, a stranger you've never met, never seen, make sure she's good looking, nothing, your type, walks up, no words are exchanged, and you just
like that dude was. It's like, and then I think the guy, his fingers are probably all gnarled and shit, and he tries to run his head through that fucking Viola Davis fro. Like you wouldn't know that's a dude.
He had the wig.
Even if you could, no, listen.
I know.
You can. I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't think bro had him in straight back so he could put like a wig there with a proper fit on. He was wearing that bitch like it was a helmet.
It was just sitting up there.
And I don't like who. I've never got. No, I'm a head holder. So I think that most men naturally, like, we at least rest our head on top of your head. We may not push, because that's some taboo for some. But I'm resting my hands on you somewhere, or like looking down at, like, This
Yeah.
is by far the weirdest thing that I've seen a black man be accused of in my entire life. Hands down, this is by far the number one is now like a distant number two now, like the old number one. Because if this is true, you got to throw this nigga under the jail. Like, but you got to put him in a women's prison, because if you put him in a man's prison, he's gonna be happy. So you got to put him in a woman's prison, like in like administrative segregation, up under the jail by himself, and only feed him like 2 or 3 times a month.
This was wild on another level. Hey, Blondie, good to have you at the show, girl. Wild stuff. Okay, we got one more, and then we're gonna get into the questions. This is Nayusi. So sweet. Let me know if you're watching, Nayusi. He just sent in a gift. He is so sweet. Thank you so much. Let me give him
no love offering if it's from Nayusi.
Well, it doesn't say. It just says they're in spirit but still run it. So
just ask him. We don't gotta assume this. Just ask him. What are we talking about?
Now you see, if you're watching, is before I type this out, is this a love offering or is this a show extension? We love you either way. God bless you. Jacob is still traumatized. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna put it up, and we gotta give you our hold on. I wish they would put this all on one screen. Our first gift of the night is from Nayusi. Thank you so much. StreamYard, if you are listening and stalking, my notes, please put all the controls on one screen, or at least give us the option to have them all on one screen. I hate having to click, get to the comments, get to the titles, get to the sound effect. Like, we need it all on one screen. Yeah, so if you're listening, please do that. They have been making some cool upgrades. Thank you, Nayusi. If you're watching, you are awesome. Okay, so let me just in case it's a show extension, I gotta write this down. All right, so here's the next thing. It said this man was 41 years old. This is a lady who had her experience on a dating app. This man is 41 years old. I give up. Dating apps deleted forever. So here's the exchange. The guy is on the left. He said, let's get together one night this weekend. She responded something that's redacted. And then she said, what did you have in mind? He goes, I love this part. Oops, hold on. There we go. I love this part. She goes, what part? And he said, why don't you give me a few ideas you like and I'll pick one? She goes, so you want me to plan a date? He said, it makes it easier than me giving an idea and you just say, no, I don't want to do that. Then he says, how about we meet at a park and play catch this week? I'll bring a few drinks. So, curious to know your thoughts about this. There were some very interesting comments, so I'll reserve. Ladies, what would you have thought about this? Of course, she was horrified. Jacob says this is so romantic. It does kind of scream Cam a little bit. So, Falake, are you saying he should just plan the date or the woman should plan the date? Melanie caught on. She said with the play catch, there was a gif in the comments of a dog jumping slow motion in the air and catching the frisbee. And they said, this could be you. Falake says this may be controversial. Hear me out. We got to get you on the show one of these days, girl. Okay. She said, men plan the date and women go. That's not controversial. So somebody said in the comments, they think that, welcome. Hi.
Hey.
Have you?
What up, big dog?
What up, big bro?
They were saying that they think that he just said that to be silly, to prove the point that if he suggested something, she might shoot it down. Tay says, one of the reasons I'm done with dating apps too, had 2 guys want me to plan the dates. So welcome to the show, sir. We're talking about a lady's dating experience on the app. Did you get a chance to hear the correspondence?
No, I dropped off when I was listening in when you were talking about the dude in the woods.
Any thoughts on that, by the way? Sorry, Jacob.
Nope.
He said no. So this is a chat. She said the guy is 41 years old. This was an exchange they had on a dating app, messaging thing, and she's super turned off. So he said, let's get together one night this week. She said, what did you have in mind? He said, I love this part, LOL. She said, what part? He said, why don't you give me a few ideas you like and I'll pick one. She said, so you want me to plan a date? He said, it makes it easier than me giving an idea and you just say, no, I don't want to do that. How about we meet at a park and play catch this week? I'll bring a few drinks.
He sounds like he
Sounds familiar.
he sounds like he thought he was talking. He meant he likes 10-year-old or 11-year-old boys, because that's some Chris Hansen shit. Like, you want to meet at a park and play catch? Who? Not trying. See,
He was probably being sarcastic.
I try to give
I think he was
people.
being sarcastic.
I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? But sometimes, like, most guys, we know, like, you don't say nothing gay because we got to be like pause at the end of it. So we say pause if it's something remotely gay that we're not trying to be gay about. But this nigga said, do you want to meet at the park and play catch? I'll bring drinks. Like, nigga, what are we talking about? Now, I understand him saying, hey,
I think he was done at that point.
I think he was being
sarcastic and was
silly on
like,
purpose.
putting in the effort. Let me tell you why I say that. I was in a similar situation when I was on dating apps, and it's like, okay, I can plan a date, but how can I plan something if I don't know anything that you like or that you'd be interested in? So I think with him saying, give me ideas, that's not like asking her to plan the date. Just give me some interest. Like, are you into, like, for example, I met someone a while ago I went to her house and I noticed that she had a record player. So she had a certain variety of albums, vinyl, like in a little thing that she only had like maybe 5 or 6 of them. But it was like, all right, I know that she's into vinyl, so I can plan a date with this woman where it could be, we can go to a vinyl store and, I can see what kind of music she likes. She loves, let's just say Nina Simone, for example. You know what I'm saying? So it could be something like that. Let me know a little bit more about you so that I can plan appropriately, as opposed to the typical, let's go meet at a bar, get some drinks or something like that. Or like he was saying, me throwing out these ideas and you just shooting them down. So I think that, I would take that as he was just like, you know what? F it. I'm not even going to put any more effort into it. I'm going to be sarcastic. Let's go to a park, get some drinks and play catch. Because I would say something like that.
I definitely think Kenny said he thinks he was testing her. I do. I think he was like fed up. I think that there's so many things to be offended by out the gate. I think that there are probably a lot more misunderstandings than people realize. And I think I was going to say, which kind of what Tay said, he should have asked her something she likes to do and then planned it around that. They would have both been comfortable and would have had a good time. I think it's just the way it went. He said this is not, this is not their first interaction. He's fed up. And he could be, but I just think that there are a lot of people who have initial feelings about something that could have been very quickly cleared up, because maybe he's tired of putting all this effort in and the woman just like, I don't like it. And then on her end, she's dealing with men who don't put in any effort. But it's like, this is to me coming with baggage. Because he could have easily said, oh no, I don't want you to plan the date. I just want to make sure that da-da-da-da-da. But I think that his sarcasm, like, oh, I love this part. It's too early to have banter like that. I think banter can always work if you're being pleasant and positive. But if you're being sarcastic and having banter that's passive aggressive, that does not work when you don't have stake in the person. Like, you don't know them well enough to do that. Once you have a rapport with them, then they know, okay, you're not being a D. You're being playful, but he doesn't. Oh my goodness. Tay says, I see it that way too. It's like everyone is scared to make a move or suggestion when it comes to try dating. I just think that we have to be slightly less. There are definitely red flags. There are things that are a big no, but I don't think this is it. I don't think this had to be a complete loss for both of them, is what I'm trying to say. This is a woman, we will never know the whole story. Just her side to paint him negatively. I think that's with both people. I hear people, they're always going to just tell their side. They're not going to give the context. They're not going to give what happened beforehand. Interesting. All right. I would put in no work and effort just to get just to go on a date in the Matrix. But you're against dating, period. You're against dating anyone in the United States.
I'm against mind reading too. So I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I get that, but it's
Right.
just that was a bad joke. If that's what he was frustrated with, he could have just said, when she said, "So you want me to plan the date?" I can't express how I would feel on this platform, but my inner self would have been like, "This bet," and I just wouldn't respond. So you want me to plan the date? Like, no, that's not what I said.
Right.
But since that's how she chose to take it, I'm already knowing she's gonna be a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she sucks at communication. She's probably not well emotionally regulated. And then 3, she's probably retarded. So I'm just not gonna talk to her after that. Like, I'm done. I'm super finished.
We're
Like,
not allowed to say that word, Willie.
I'm sorry, she's mentally deficient. So like we're grown. So I'm saying, give me ideas of stuff you like, because clearly we haven't had that conversation. But in like your big ass mind, that's not where you took it. Like, when you try to intentionally misinterpret or misunderstand me, that's one of the most unattractive things a woman can do.
I agree 100%.
So yeah, she's not the R word, my bad. But she is definitely, there is a deficiency in her mental capacity, if that's the correlation, that's what she took from what he said.
Yep.
Like,
and I think she was triggered. I think that triggered her, just kind of like you were saying, Yonci. Just past baggage that triggered her, instead of seeking clarity on what he really was trying to get to. And I agree with you, Will.
There are so many, like, every person is different. One woman likes this, one woman like that. And, I'm going to go to bat for the guys for a second. We say, we're not every woman. Get to know each woman. We're different. Da, da, da. So we'll say that on the one hand, but then on the other hand, it's like, there is this expectation that the guy knows exactly what to do. And if he does it, somehow he's less than. But every person is different. So I just think, and as you're getting to know a person, you have to take into consideration, they come from a different background than you. They've had different experiences than you. Some people communicate differently. I've had people who disagree on the meaning of regular everyday words. So there are so many things that can happen that can cause a miscommunication. You guys are really gonna get. Candace just sent a love offering. How sweet. Oh, how cute. She said, love offering and happy birthday, Monte. That is really, really sweet. Aw. Love offering. And I'm going to put a happy birthday, Monte. Oh, wait. Does that mean I have to share it with him? Just kidding.
Man, you better get that man his birthday stuff.
Okay, this is from Candace. Thank you so much. I know if I wouldn't, Willie would snitch on me for sure. He probably texted him already. Show. Thank you. So sweet. Oh, doggone it. I'm dropping stuff left and right, y'all. Hold on. Even. I've been struggling today. I literally felt a little. Oh, there it goes. Hold on, y'all. I am really about to have to find under my desk. The snow paper.
Yeah.
Good records. Okay.
Now that I read this out loud again, it's off of their head. I don't know. Nope.
Okay, so I'm looking at her, the way that she's speaking, and I feel like a lot of times, it's necessary to have a filter. Like, even if she felt turned off by this, or she wanted him to plan a date, there's still a way that you can say it to where it doesn't come across so abrasively. And I think people are shocked why some people get turned off, or they want to, back off from pursuing, but not realizing like you're really not, you're giving kind of like witchy vibes. Jacob said she misspelled extension. That was very, very sweet. Okay, take this one down. Actually, I'm gonna put a little note so I don't forget. Birthday. Very sweet, very sweet. Thank you, Candace. I haven't even seen her on in the comments yet, so that's pretty cool. She went straight to Cash App. Okay. Let's see. So do you want to go out or not? Okay, let me go ahead and take this down and we are going to get into the questions. See, it's a good thing we did the stories first because we now have Mikkel here. So, okay, let's see. And thank you. He's joining us after a long day at work and even longer traffic. So, thank you, sir. Okay. One more comment. It seems they both have zero patience or tolerance. They both seem triggered, and maybe you need to take a break to reset. Yes. Also, each thinks the other is crazy. They're both making assumptions. I hate when people make assumptions. Drives me nuts. Okay. First question. What is that is ironic. I didn't even realize how that flowed. What is your biggest frustration with dating apps? And I'll think of mine too from when I was on them. What is your biggest frustration with dating apps? And I know, Willie, you are off of the apps, but when you were ever on, did you have thoughts about it?
Yeah, everybody's a catfish. That's the number one. I mean, and then two, everybody has a profile talking about what they don't want, and it sounds like that they're saying that, you know, I am the man that I want, so you got to be like me, and or take me and my 15 kids as a package deal, and they have these unrealistic expectations that their father doesn't even meet. So for them to expect a stranger to meet them, because typically you see women, the men they describe in their profile pictures do not want them, and they don't even have access to those guys, because if they did, they probably would be married and not on a dating app. So if you see, you know, I've sent you like some of the shit when I was doing all that research and trying to, you seen some of those profiles, and then, or, you know, the ones that, trying to think how to word this. They're not just physical catfish. They're, you know, catfishes, but, you know, they say, well, I got my own this, I got my own that. Like, and that's when men are learning that you got to be financially stable to date broke women. Like, that's crazy to me. So,
what are some of your experiences, sir? I know we've had some conversations about this before.
I think one of my biggest frustrations was trying to hold a conversation. You know, you would send out, they would ask a question, and you would send out a nice detailed response trying to get some interaction, and then they respond with one word or one little, you know, phrase that doesn't really answer the question or doesn't lead to anything more. But then they get annoyed that there's no exchange. You know, that's one of my biggest. The catfishing, yeah, emotional catfishing is a big thing, and people probably don't even use that or even know what that is. But a lot of my experiences have been saying that they're emotionally available to actually date, but when you actually get deeper or have that phone conversation or actually go on the date, they're really not, because everything you do or say triggers them from some past trauma that they've not worked through. And so that's the biggest for me. You do get those situations of, you know, the trying to figure out the dating and whatnot, but it's like the more you put into what they want you to be or what they claim to be looking for,
right,
realize that they're not even ready for that or even a portion of that.
I hated how it was such a numbers game. Like, I could tell when I was on there that these guys were just sending a million messages. And so you'd respond, and then, you know, it'd be like weeks before they responded back. So I started having a rule that if they didn't respond within 24 hours, or, you know, then I would just delete him and move on, because I was like, you're not seriously on here. And I realized that some people, you know,
Yeah,
have
but see, that's the other
busy
thing.
schedules and stuff like that.
That's the other thing though too. It's like a lot of the women on the apps want you to have a life, but if you don't respond within 24 hours, then you're wasting their time. Like, hey, I'm not on this app 24/7. It's not in my hand. I got work. I got stuff to do. And those who have kids, people got lives. So if you don't respond within 24 hours, even 48 hours, that should not be a bad sign. That shouldn't
I
be
would
taken
say
as
that
you're
that
not
person
taking it
probably doesn't have
serious.
time to date. That's my
Well,
opinion.
I wouldn't say that either, because again, you have to be literally like, let's say if I was on the apps, right?
Yeah.
I would literally have to be, while I'm engaging in this podcast, I would literally have to be on the app right now for someone to be as responsive as they want or expect people to be, because they're looking at it like, you need to be on this app to see that I swiped or matched with you, and you have this countdown of time in order to react, or I'm just going to straight out delete you because you don't have time.
So I'm gonna counter that. So let's say it's 7:00 your time, right? And somebody reaches out, and from the initial reaction, the initial interaction.
Uh-huh.
So let's say, let's just say at, I don't know, 10:00 at night. You're off the show. You see them. You have a match. You look at her picture. You're like, oh, she's really pretty. I like what she has to say. And you guys have your first conversation. You're saying that you would go a full day till 10:00 the next night, and it wouldn't even cross your mind to say, hey, let me see if she responded.
To see if she responded? I mean, if time allowed for that, yes. But to say, oh, this person doesn't have time to date, they're not serious, and then just delete, that's a completely different story.
So
because you're expecting immediacy on a situation where it's like you're bumping into someone, at the airport, whatever, and say, oh, I like your bag, blah, blah, blah. You're exchanging where you heading, this is whatever, and you exchange numbers, and you're expecting that person to reach out to you in 24 hours. You don't know what that person has going on in their lives. You don't know what they're traveling for. You don't know if they got on another plane or whatnot, to just assume that, that person is not interested. So I just think that there just needs to be a little bit more. I mean, if I didn't reply in the first place, then replying and matching, obviously there's an interest, but don't set this time frame on, really within reason. Put it that way, within reason.
Bro, you're like a real life fucking brain surgeon. If they don't understand that your time is not going to be what everybody, like these Walmart manager niggas they usually talk to, are like, they get a break every 15 minutes, every 45 minutes at the GM factory or whatever, I'm saying, tire shop these niggas work at. You are a brain surgeon.
Trauma surgeon.
Surgeon. It's surgery for a billion hours at a time straight. Like, you and they're having fucking mental marathons, and then if you can't respond in a timely fashion, they get mad.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was probably like, you got the best disqualifying filter ever.
Absolutely.
Like, if they can't understand what you do before they've earned your commitment, they're not qualified.
See, and I wouldn't, this is my pushback. I wouldn't say that for me, because I have the opinion that's opposite. I wouldn't get mad at someone. I don't know the person enough to get mad at them. I would say that they're not interested enough. To me, if there are certain people that I'm not thinking about them, like either I didn't find them attractive enough, the conversation, wasn't interesting enough. To me, I feel like when you meet someone that really piques your interest, you're not going 24 to 48 hours. You're going to have at least a little bit of curiosity. Everybody sits, not to be crass, everybody sits down and goes number 2 at some point in the day. So people who say I have no time at all, I have days where it's really hectic and crazy and busy, but I always manage to go and make sure I'm up on my text messages or what have you. So I would say,
how many people do you text when you take a shit? Because I'm gonna tell you now, that list for me is very short, and it wouldn't be a motherfucker I haven't met yet, for sure. My children, maybe my attorney, like my woman, but someone that I haven't met. Like, when I shit, I'm trying to relax. I already got to take all my clothes and shit off. I don't want to be in there texting you, and then you get doodle on your, like, no, I'm cool. Like, you're not doing that. I'm definitely not going to be in there checking Facebook and no way.
I'm simply saying that people, I don't think that.
So
if you met someone that you thought was gorgeous,
listen, after a first hi, glad we matched, and you set that expectation, that's not realistic. If we've been chatting for a little while, we have like a nice healthy exchange going on, And then, yeah, of course, I'm going to be intrigued by this person. I'm going to want to, curiosity of what her response is going to be. Yeah, of course, I'm going to take some extra time for that. But if it's just the initial, I just matched with you and we just said hi, it's not, there's nothing invested yet.
I definitely agree. There's not an investment. And I think the verbiage I keep hearing is like, I don't owe you. This is this. What I'm saying is, as a woman, I have seen how men respond to me. There are some men who respond like immediately, and there are some that are more, And for me, I don't want someone that's just like, meh, because I don't think everybody is going to hit you that way. I don't think everybody is going to like intrigue you that way.
I think part of that is this notion that women have that they're, if it comes to that situation, that they're now chasing the man, which again, it's not necessarily at that point. I don't think. I think it's just trying to figure out and navigate that time and space of communication. And sometimes the women get in their brain, well, I'm chasing this dude. I think that's where these pseudo realities start to come in, and that's when it becomes,
For me, it was, I felt like if I'm that forgettable, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but you can't be forgettable if you're not really a major thought, though.
But that's my point. I'm saying if our encounter was that inconsequential,
just a hello, though,
I don't want. But it wouldn't have been a hello. It would have been swiping at a match in the initial. Like, there's usually more than just like hi. It's usually a little correspondence. Jacob, looked like you were crawling out of your skin.
It's a dating app. You just met.
Right.
Why is everybody have all these weird rules? You're in the game and you're trying to meet people. Meet people. Like, stop with all this crazy stuff of he got to respond in 6 minutes or he not interested. We just met. I don't know you.
Both of you went to the extreme.
Hold on.
You said I gotta respond in 6
I'm talking
minutes,
about
and he
period.
said I gotta be on the app all day. Y'all always go to the extreme opposite.
When you get in the game, hold on. When you in the game, it's gonna be people who just can't wait to see you. They just met you. Some is gonna take a minute. Some people it's gonna be something in between. Let it all play out. Right. Everybody, first of all, you single and you want somebody, and you're trying to find every excuse not to talk and meet somebody. You come with all these dumb things. Do you want to meet somebody or not? Act like it. I am so sick of people.
I know Jacob's not talking.
Want to be in the game? I take it all. I joke about things, but I take it all in stride. It's the game. Get to know people. Act like you want to be in the dating game. Everybody is trying to act like they got it all figured out and they know everything. And it annoys me to no end for all these stupid rules. He didn't text me back 6 minutes. I'm block his ass. He's not interested. Or, oh my God, like
he's texting too much.
He's texting. He's loved by. I literally just had this conversation with him. He loved bombing. He brought me a gift on the first date. He's love bombing me. Like, what is wrong? Like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Do you want to be by yourself or not? And you're gonna wind up by yourself with all these stupid rules. I'm not saying accept everything and every stupid little thing. But my God, have a sense of humor, be open, don't play yourself. But every little thing is not worthy of coming online and complaining about it because you had a bad experience and labeling everybody as negative. Just take it in stride, roll with it. Do you want to be alone or not? Because I tell you, if you keep behaving a certain way, you're gonna find yourself by your damn self.
I think women are they feel entitled to a man's money and his time without being obligated to give him anything of the equal value in return. If I just met you and we're not in a relationship and you ever comment to me about my response time, I'm probably not ever going to move past just knowing you phase because it's unrealistic. Because I'm a pretty effective communicator and I communicate what my schedule is. And for example, when I'm working in a cleared space, I can't have my phone in the building that I would work in. So, and I'm in there for 8 to 12 hours a day. So there's nothing that I can do that you're not going to talk to me for those 12 hours. So once you understand the reason and that still bothers you, it just shows me that you're choosing to have a problem with that. And that's fine. But it's also fine that I stop fucking with you because I'm going to.
If this was if this was me, if I was in that same situation that you're talking about, I would never be complaining. We're not talking about in a relationship. I
But
would
these
never
women
be
will though. Like you
Huh?
have sense. You have sense, and I'll give
Oh,
you
I
that.
just want to
Like,
clarify that I would never
most
complain.
women,
They would never see me again.
you know, you don't. You must not check your text messages. I don't. And
Sorry, gotta give.
like, their
Thank
text
you
messages,
so
I'll turn their
much,
read so
Brad.
they know.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
So-
but it's funny you mentioned cybersecurity because I have a friend who works cybersecurity at the job. I work in an energy company. It's a secure space. I haven't seen her work ever in life. I know she works there. They go into a secure part of the building. I see her outside of work more than I ever see her. I don't know where the hell she works in the building. Like they
Yeah,
go
'cause when
somewhere and you
going
never
through
see them. I never see her come out. I see her at work. I know she works there, but I have never seen her at the job.
Bro, I had to go through 6 doors to get to work. I had a retina scan, a bio scan, an X-ray, then a security thing, and then I had to walk down a tunnel to get to where I worked at. There's no cell phone. There's no there's not even any windows in the building that I was working in, and I'm in there for 8 to 12 hours a day, and then sometimes I would be in there for 18 hours a day. Like I would vanish from the face of the earth. Phone sharing location, that shit say not available because I don't have service. Even though my phone is in the parking lot, which is 2 miles away. It was frustrating. Like even at the time I was dating my youngest son's mom, like she had to understand, and it was weird because like, ma'am, you're in the military, you know how this goes, so you should understand what happens. But it would still be like, well, you don't come out and check. No, I'm not coming out through 6 fucking doors, having to get damn near naked, and saying turn my head and cough to get out of the building just to go text you for 2 minutes, and then because I've only got 10 minutes in between whatever it is I'm doing, and then come back and have to go through that again. That's like 45 minutes round trip. So no, I'm not doing that. I will talk to you when I'm out of there.
And
then
not
the
only
days
that,
I'm not at work, I'm available because we work 18 hours. You can get 2 days off. So like those 2 days, I would be at the house. I'd be available, but I had checked that with her early.
Yeah,
because that's not something I knew that was going to be something that would make me, start talking to somebody else.
So
and
I
not
will
only
say
that,
this.
to add to that, just using Willie's example, you go through all that, and once you are out of that space, you're going to think about the people who you've invested in, the people who are important to you, the people that I'm not going to say matter in the sense that this new person doesn't matter, but you got a lot of other priorities to handle before even getting to a person that you just met yesterday. And sometimes that list can be long and extensive. It takes you into the night to where you're about to ready to go to sleep. So, there's a lot of things that come into play with that.
So this is where I'm having trouble, and it's interesting because it seems like the girls all understand what I'm saying. When you guys are describing it, all the word choices, everything you're describing like a responsibility. I have to take care of this. This is something I have to do. She feels entitled to my time. We're not describing the same situation at all.
No, but you're expecting it.
What's that?
You may not be describing it that way, but that's what the expectation is, that we have the responsibility to meet your expectations on someone you just met.
So you're saying the expectation. What I'm describing is this. I would venture to say, if you guys feel the way that you feel, you have never encountered a woman who you had a strong reaction out the gate for. For me, one of my requirements is I want someone who you don't know the person, so you can't be interested in them, like them as a person. You're just intrigued. So if I can meet a guy and he's not even so much as intrigued to want to get to know me, knowing myself, I would not care to move forward with that person. One of the things that I liked about Monte was that he wanted to get to know me. He didn't take weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to want to reach out. He was interested to get to know me. He was curious enough, based on what our banter was on the text, that he wanted to get to know me. He proceeded to get to know me, and it didn't take him a lot. It was actually kind of funny, but he wanted to lock it down immediately. And I'm not saying I actually pushed back on that. So I'm not advocating locking something down immediately. What I'm saying is, I think you meet a lot of people that are like, oh, okay, I met someone. And once or twice in a lifetime, you meet someone that you're like, I want to get to know this person. And I'm saying, if I don't have that effect on that person, I didn't I did not want to stick around.
I don't
But see,
disagree
you
with
just
that. I think
described-
what it is your initial question was, or your initial statement kind of reflected just meeting someone. Like you just connect with someone, you exchange hellos. If they don't respond back to you in 24 hours, from that moment, you cut them off. That's what I'm speaking to.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that is what.
how can you tell the level of intriguement from a simple single exchange, though? That's what I'm saying. So you have to build up to that level of intrigue.
This is what I'm gonna support Yonci on this one, but to a certain degree, what you are describing is a once in a blue moon phenomenon. This does not happen often. Where a guy sees a woman and you're like, oh snap, this is it. That's like two
Not
and
even this is it, but at least I want to get to know the person.
This is like 2 in 100. This is not something that happens very often. If you know, you know. I've probably had that happen in my lifetime, maybe like 2 or 3 times. It does not happen. What you just said does not happen very often.
Sorry.
And if you want to wait on that, cool. Just know it's not going to happen very often. Where a guy sees you and is like, oh shit, or he meets you in the first interaction, like, I gotta see her again. That rarely happens. Like, it's going to put that on the table. That's not something it's not gonna happen. And it's gonna probably take some divine energy for you to wait on the next time it happens, if that's what you're waiting on. But it's not gonna happen very often.
I love what Tracy said. She said most men aren't on dating apps to be intentional about finding something real. And that's absolutely what I have experienced. Monte admitted to being that. He said he was just BSing. He's like, if something happened, cool. But like, I was just trying to entertain myself. Something different happened with me that he was like, oh, same thing with my ex-husband. We were working in the same place. He had tons of women coming through there. Tons of women who wanted to be. He was like the it guy. All the guys wanted to be friends with him. All the women wanted to be with him. And he was single as a Pringle. And when I came through, he was like, I want to get to know you. And 3 months later, put a ring on my finger. I've seen intentional men. And that's why when I have these type of conversations, I'm like, I don't think most men have actually experienced this in their lifetime. Because once you've experienced it, you don't ever want to, you don't ever want to go back to just kind of like, I could talk to her.
But that's not what's being implied, though. And I don't want to beat this dead horse, but I think it's more of the expectation of, if you don't respond in 24 hours, you're not interested. That's where I'm stuck on. Because there's a lot of factors there's a lot of things that can be contributing to the lack of the 24-hour response, and to cut someone off within that period of time. Just because you think that they're not interested without even, what's wrong with just saying, I noticed it's been 24 hours, you hadn't responded. Should I take that as a sign of you not being interested? Versus just coming to the assumption of, oh, he's not interested because it's been 24 hours. That's what I'm talking about. I do agree that you can meet that person, that can knock your feet off, knock you off your feet. I do agree with that. But I'm just saying that, just to make that assumption that this person is not interested because I haven't heard from him in 24 hours. I just think that that's where,
Yeah. And I normally would agree on the not assuming part. However, for me, I exclusively dated online because of my location. And when you see such a clear pattern, it's like, okay.
I mean,
for me, there were men who out the gate started with conversations. They would actually ask meaningful questions. And then there were the, hey, how are you doing, guys? Hey, beautiful. So you start to see this pattern of like the ones you could tell are just sending this message to multiple women. And I'm not saying that I couldn't have missed out on someone who genuinely liked me, but he was tied up. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying there's no logic there. I'm just saying for me, I was okay with my odds because I didn't want to start out that way. I didn't want to start out.
But I also,
if I was an average person, I think that women should also understand that, women swear men aren't intentional when they're on the apps. They swear, a lot like, and then some men are self-admittedly just on there, having fun. I would be concerned that if somebody was like that with me, was responding fast, because their primary attraction is physical, so they probably just want to sleep with me. So, but
then you're doing the rules that he just talked about.
So that's my point. It's like you guys are saying, like, we have to be realistic. All of y'all aren't interesting. all of us aren't intriguing to most people. So to expect someone to treat you like you are is just something you want to do because it'll make you feel better in most cases. We're not talking about the extraordinarily attractive people, the extraordinarily handsome men. We're talking about average people. And for an average person to think that another average person is going to match with them in one day and then all of a sudden want to talk to them all the time.
Nope, not saying that. Nope.
Excuse me, not talk to them all the time, but not be able to go hours without talking to them.
Nope, that's not what
unrealistic.
I'm saying. Y'all see, that's what to make
you
your point.
did say
guys have
that
to
though.
go
I'm sorry, Yonci, you had to call
No,
you.
I didn't say extreme. Like,
I said a whole day, 24
he said 24 hours. Right. So
but
that's the thing, though. Some people have lives.
That could be 2 hours. I'm saying you guys make it. The first comment was, "Oh, you know, I got to be on the app all the time." That was the first exaggeration. Then it was, oh, I forget what Jacob said something, and then you talk about, oh, I can't go a few hours. What I am saying is, if an entire day goes by, meaning you get home from work, you wind down. Most people look at their phone before going to bed. If at no point you said, hey, I'm curious to see if she responds. If I don't cross your mind at all, I didn't mean to put that up there. I don't know how to hide it. I'm saying I don't really think that this is somewhere I want to spend my time. But I dare you guys to argue back without taking it to an extreme of what I'm saying, because that's not what I'm saying.
What if the guy works 20-hour shifts and he's got 4 hours before he comes back to work, which is what we were talking about? He has these long shifts.
I'm glad you asked that. That was one of my deal breakers. I couldn't be with somebody who did not have downtime. I wanted somebody who shared my schedule. So when I was a 9-to-5er, I wanted to be with a 9-to-5er. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I also wanted somebody who had full freedom over their time, because there's no point if we can't ever spend time together. If you only get 4 hours off of work, first of all, when you're sleeping, but I couldn't be with a neurosurgeon. I couldn't be with an
why
athlete.
y'all picking on the surgeons, man?
What's that?
First of all, trauma surgeon, and why y'all picking on me?
No, I thought it was a neurosurgeon.
IT professionals we just eliminated like 30% of the
I know, right?
Like,
and that's okay. Because here's the thing. Why would I want to meet the love of my life and I can't even hang out with him? I hear people telling their stories about how, like, he lives in New York and I live in LA, but we just make it work. That's not my story. I am so blessed that we both work from home, because we get to see each other as much or as little as we want. That's my dream. And it's okay that I'm not like everybody. Someone else is okay with just seeing their person once a week. That's not my ministry.
So I understand what you're saying now. So that makes sense to me, right? Yours is based off your preferences. I think a lot of these women, they're based off of their experience being ghosted by men. So they're super sensitive to someone not responding to them. Same way, like, a guy would be if he really liked the girl, that he probably knew that, I wasn't, he probably knew that he wasn't her type. Like, and he's been ghosted by women before. I think that's where that comes from. I won't say it's trauma response, but that's one of the things about a lot of women that's annoying to us men, is that you guys base, not you personally, but on average, a lot of women base their current expectations of men based on their past experiences. And I think this is a really good way to look at that. If women haven't been ghosted or are typically interested, have men that are interested in them on a regular basis, they're not going to be worried about this. And not saying from a preference aside, but for like women who just think that, okay, well, he'll show me that I'm interested, and then their metric is how fast he responds to her, I feel like that's probably because men have ghosted them before. And then Shantae just said it, they'll act interested in ghost. I mean, exactly. So when women get ghosted a lot, they tend to think like this. And that's what it will make me think if a woman is checking me for my response time. Like, that's probably one of the first things I'm going to ask her. Like, do you have this experience with a lot of men? Because you're not going to gauge my interest in you by how fast I respond. You should gauge it in like the quality of our conversation and the intentionality that I put, when we're having a conversation, how deep my questions are. It's not the, hey, what are you doing, gorgeous bullshit. So
if I had a man reach out as a client and say, I really am attracted to this woman, we exchange information, and when I text her, she takes 2 to 3 days to get back.
So you went to the extreme now.
That's
Just
different.
How is
That's
that
an extreme.
extreme?
That is
Y'all
an
just
You
said
said 2 or
24
3
hours. I
days.
said 2 to 3 days.
No.
24 is crazy, but 3 is normal?
No,
Or 2 is normal?
24 is not crazy, but 24 is not any less crazy than 2 or 3. So I'll give you that. But if you're saying that throughout the day, just keep that same time frame. Because if a guy can go throughout the day without talking to a girl, that means he's got shit going on.
No, what I'm saying is if a male client said, I texted this girl that I'm interested in getting to know. She says she's interested in getting to know me. I text her on Tuesday. She doesn't respond until Wednesday night.
Being interested.
I would say that's what I'm saying.
We're not saying that if a man did that, that doesn't mean that if a dude goes 2 or 3 days without talking to somebody he's trying to sleep with, he's not interested. That's not what we're saying. But we go all day without talking to you.
Yonci, your question was referring to on the dating app, not exchanging information, not texting. Your question was regarding to first meeting and matching on a dating app. That's completely different. That's night and day.
Yep.
That's night and day. And I will add this one thing, and as an advice to women, is if you're expecting someone to respond within 24 hours, at least have something worth responding to. Don't go up there and just be like, don't go in there and just be like, how was your day? That's the most, I tell you, that is the one thing I cannot stand. Even when I'm texting with women, how was your day? I'm not going to answer that because you have no creativity in it. Everyone asks that question and there's nothing in it for me. If you give something thought-provoking like, hey, what was the highlight of your day today? If you know what I do for a living, hey, did you have any serious traumas come in that you care to share? Oh, I'm going to invest in that because now I know she's interested in what I have going on. So yeah, I'm going to go back and look within that 24 hours and say, yeah, I just ran down my day in this case that I had. I want to know how she responds to this. But if you just sit there like, how was your day? Nah, fuck that. I'm sorry. Forget that.
Yeah, I would never expect a man to go off of some dry vanilla text. And that's why I said Monte and my conversation was popping from out the gate. He had crazy stuff in his bio. I had stuff that, and I teach this in my course, like how to have things that are engaging to where people want to comment back on it. And so and so to me, like we had, and I not to keep just referencing him, but I'm just saying I have had a lot of dating experience and I can tell by how men start, it's usually how they finish. And so if a guy is just so nonchalant and he's taking, that's the thing. If you're swiping on so many people and you're not really taking the time to only swipe on people who have an interesting profile or that you really find attractive or whatever, you're just swipe. You're not going to care if someone responds. But
sometimes
if
you want to break the algorithm.
You said what?
Sometimes you want to break the algorithm.
The how you start is how you finish. Typically, I agree with you when you say that, but there is a caveat. When you're attractive, how you start is how you finish. Because some guys find women who aren't maybe as attractive as they like, but then the woman grows on them. So then they escalate, everything increases, their attention, their attraction stuff, through prolonged exposure. So I wouldn't want everybody to think that, because we have to be realistic about who we are, right? Like some people know, like, hey, all right, I'm not as handsome as Morris Chestnut, but I'm funnier, or I'm not as famous as so-and-so, but, I'm more intentional, whatever, right? So you have to know who you are, but we can't, like, all people don't play by the same rules. There's a lot of stuff that an attractive woman will get away with that an unattractive woman won't. And as unfair as that may seem, it's just how it is. So for like an attractive woman, the way a dude starts is pretty much how, it's probably even less likely to be how he finishes, especially when the majority of time men want attractive women for physical reasons. And once we get it, if it's not good to spectacular, we're not as motivated to get it again. It's kind of like if you want to go to a restaurant that you've been looking forward to forever and you finally eat the food and it was just like, you're not in a hurry to go back. It's the same thing for us. So,
but let me say this, because you mentioned, like, if you ask how was your day, I'll respond to that and I will say, this is what happened. Maybe this pissed me off. Like, I will offer some insight to see how they react to it. Now, if the response is okay, then I'm with you. Right.
Just single letter.
If it's somebody that's pleasing to my eyes, I'm gonna try to give them a little something to work with. And if it stays one word answers, okay, then I can cut it off. I guess the point I'm trying to make with like the dating apps, like it's like dating in the world where you gotta maybe give something a chance. Some people might be nervous. Try to give a little something and then see how that works out for you. Now, I'm not saying spend, like days upon days giving it, but nothing wrong with giving a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of energy, a little bit of flirting or something. And what I'm saying with these apps, I think what I've experienced in some cases, everybody's become so hardcore with certain rules. You might miss out on something good because you've got such a hard and fast rule. I understand it's your life. You do what you want with it. I mean, you got to live it. We can't do it for you. But how's it working for you? Like if you ain't meeting nobody, you ain't going to no dates, you ain't nobody interested in you, it's got to be you because the world ain't going to change for you. And so,
you know how you guys have this saying, thank you so much, N1406.
wait a minute, you start smiling before you commented. Like she been thinking of this one, y'all. So
Hey,
no, I just
listen, and she didn't cook like she thinks she did, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you why.
So this is what men say. You almost made me train of thought. Oh, so they say women have all these rules until, you know what they say? Women say they have all these rules for men until what? Does anyone know the answer?
Until they find that one.
The guy they actually like. So she might have these rules like he can't call me past this time or he's got to do this, but if it's a dude she's really sprung on, all those rules go out the window.
True.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. All the stuff that you guys are saying, it's very practical stuff. Yes, you are busy. Yes, this, and this. What I'm saying is I need a guy who doesn't have an average response to me. And Jacob, you were saying that only might happen once or twice in a lifetime. I think too many people get together who should never be together. I think you should wait until you have that actual connection that people should like. I asked the guys, how often do you meet someone that you actually wanted to make your girlfriend? And I did the average. It was 6.5 years. That means that most guys are only meeting with, and that's not to say that they actually even got together. It's just someone that they even wanted to consider as their girlfriend.
How long did it take you to get to that realization?
That a guy most guys aren't interested?
Yeah, this level of thinking about dating, how long did it take you to get there?
Well, I dated for 8 years. I was married like at 23, so I wasn't in the game until my mid-30s. And so I would say it was probably like a good 4 or 5 years of actually dating to figure this out.
You had to do some dating. And I guess maybe we need to talk about where you are in the process.
What you said though is accurate, right? To the guy that he really likes, when he finds that woman, the problem is for the stuff we're talking about, even that woman can't change that for us. That woman's not going to pull him out of surgery and have him go jump on his phone. That woman wouldn't have pulled me out of doing what I was doing to go jump on my phone.
You guys have extreme, Willie.
No, it's not extreme because the idea of finding that person that you really like is extreme too. This is the part that's saying you're making it seem like all of y'all are that woman for men, and most of y'all aren't. So most of y'all won't get that treatment.
I think that they're the person for them, and there are women who are not what you would consider like the average, the traditionally beautiful or the traditional what. Like I've seen people of all shapes and sizes with their person. I think every woman should wait until they meet a man who is smitten with her, and I think that's why so many relationships don't fail. Because these guys are just like, she'll do. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, she stuck around long enough. I guess I'll marry her. I'd rather be single than be with a guy who's like, I
don't disagree with you that I think that a woman should want a guy who is equally smitten with her as she is him. I have no issue with that. The problem is that that's unlikely to happen to most people. Just look at the fact that the majority of women are unmarried. Like that's my point. Like it's not going to happen for everybody. Like it sounds good to say that hey, there's someone for everyone, but we know that's just not mathematically possible. And then two, it's nothing wrong with saying that women should want that. I think women should want a man who is smitten with her. I don't use that word, but you know, I'm not going to use my word here. But like, I feel like that's good, right? It's just not going to happen for everybody. Like, it'll happen to the women who do the work. It'll happen to the women who have the inherent genetic gifts that attract men. And then a third group is going to happen to the women who just get lucky. But that's not most women, and it's not supposed to be. Like we say that I don't believe all men should find wives. I don't believe all men should reproduce for a multitude of reasons. But that's rooted in me understanding that it's not fair. You're gonna go out there and earn it. And if you don't do the work, niggas is not gonna be smitten with you. Like, who's gonna be smitten with the woman who told that man, so you want me to plan the date? Like, the guys that she wants probably aren't gonna tolerate that type of shit. Or who's gonna be smitten by the woman who says, like, we'll use the extreme intensity gonna use an extreme. Oh, you didn't talk to me today, so you must not be interested. When she knows that he's a surgeon, or when he knows that she's a dating coach and has back to back calls for 10 hours. Like, those people are more the majority than the women who are not.
So what is your solution to them?
Accept who they are and accept their circumstances.
That's what I'm saying. So be with a man who isn't into her.
Those two things, or decide what outcome you want and become the person that deserves it.
And that's what I advocate for, is becoming the best version of yourself. Yes, people who don't get with the program are going to be let behind. Absolutely. But I'm going to die on the hill of be the best version of yourself and hold out for a man who actually likes you.
Yeah, but they also have to look in the mirror and recognize who they are. Like, you know, with accountability. Yeah, but some people go into this best version of myself based on what they want to be, not.
They need to take my course.
Yep. Well, there you go. Advocating for your course right now.
And for right now, it is online for the first time ever. You can take it fully self-paced, and it is on a crazy discount. I'm not even going to say the amount because I regret having it on record, but just click the link in my bio and you're going to be shocked and shook.
That price needs to go up because that course is nasty work. I would pay a lot more money for that course if I was dating somebody and was getting ready to get married and they didn't already have all of that stuff together. Like, that course will take you from getting niggas to respond to you in 2 days to 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying what we're talking about it, like, if you want a dude to be smitten with you, that course is probably where you need to be. Because imagine being fine and dudes
100% agree.
Like average. Like, what you're missing is probably not the physical; it's the mental piece.
Yeah, because I have a lot of really pretty girls in the course who are like, I can't get.
And she's giving you that for, like, that course should be 10-15 grand, and you know what I'm saying, she's giving it to you at a steep discount. So I'm so glad that you're saying you put that course out there, because those prices need to be.
I appreciate that. I mean, I am passionate about it because I know women want love so badly, and if they knew what their blind spots were, they would tackle it. And I've had so many women who have come out of the course already in a relationship, either have gotten engaged since then, or they are getting engaged. You know, there's one situation, I actually know the situation, but they
make sure they complete the course too, because you can't go into psychology thinking you're a psychologist because you took one class. Complete the course. There's a lot that's to be learned from that. Complete it. Go through the whole thing. Don't take one little course, one little class and be like, oh, I'm ready to go date. Don't work like that.
We take 3 months normally, or 8 weeks when I do it with the live group and all that. And there's a lot that goes into it. And most of it is the mindset. There's all the fun stuff, like, you know, this is what men think and all, but the biggest part is getting out of your own way and looking at your limiting beliefs and the things that you're doing that are getting you hung up. And it's so funny because a lot of women go, oh my God, I'm the problem. I've heard so many girls say that in the class, and it's no shade, but that's the cool thing, is that if you're always thinking that all of the problems are the men you're dating, then that's a hopeless situation because you can't control the men. But if you find out, oh, there are things that I'm doing, like, oh, I'm not wearing deodorant, and so people are turned off by the odor. Like, we were in a movie. We went to the movies for Monte's birthday, and the guy next to me, his breath was so foul. And he wasn't like a hideous guy. He wasn't GQ or anything, but he wasn't hideous. But if I was a single woman and he tried to talk to me, I'd have been like, oh my God. And if he doesn't know he has bad breath, he has no idea why women are probably not wanting to
Hey,
talk.
look at the back chat real quick.
Really?
I swear, right now, like go make the edits.
Okay. They were, who was laughing at me about my click? Oh, it was Jacob talking about my clickety clackety clackety clackety.
Yeah, so I don't know how many of your like women are on like watching this or anything, but I believe in your course so much that if there's someone out there that really feels like they're in their own way and they really want to take your course so that they can find happiness, I will sponsor someone to take your course.
What? Yeah, that's documented, ladies. You heard it right here at 8:26 Central Standard Time on August 14th.
But they have 24 hours to respond. No, I'm kidding.
That is no, but you should do that actually. Most people do watch in 24 hours. That is very, very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Oh, how cute. Tracy just said, do you have any scholarships? I'm just now catching up. Let's see. She said, dang, I missed a lot of comments. What was I doing? Okay. Never vetting process is important. Absolutely. What the doctors say. Take over. Do you have any scholarships? Well, there you go. We do now. Tell me the name of the course. It is the Dating Manual, and it is linked in my bio. I guess I could put it here too.
Tracy said I asked first.
Hey, don't you gotta make a change real quick?
I hate you.
Look,
hold on.
Look. Go ahead.
The price of the brick just went up. All right,
don't break my pockets, Willie.
Right.
Let me get the scholarship first, and then
He was like, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. Should we do is it the dating manual? Is it the course? I'm trying to find it on IG right now. Yes. Okay, so let me put the link in the bio. Hold on. I mean in the comments right here so you guys can see. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this, y'all. I'm taking a break from doing the live version where I'm in the group every day. This one, you guys can just take it online. Oh, child, I almost put the private group link. No, sir. Let me just click this. Hold on.
Hey, who is N1406?
I thought that was you for a second, and I was like, oh, no, it's not. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me paste it here. There we go.
Willie, is that your baby, man?
Okay, let's see. Make sure I caught up. Closed mouths don't get fed. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, thank you, Tay. Yeah, like I don't bust out any students, but if you say it yourself, then she said the dating manual helped her immediately. Let's see. Not Willie. She says Klarna, Afterpay, PayPal, to other. No, literally just had Klarna and Afterpay today to what you call it.
And you got to look for Pava. They find us up to 20 grand.
Wow. How to do that? Tracy did ask first, but Melanie is interested as well. I guess I don't know. First come, first serve. I would wait 3 weeks for your return call. Dating manual was very helpful. I'm glad you like it. Oh, Candace said she took the course last year too. It definitely puts a mirror on you. It's definitely worth the investment. Y'all gonna make me cry. I still have work to do. So how should we do it, fellas? We got 2 ladies who want it. What do you recommend?
Look in the chat.
Really
we can talk about that offline. We can chat that offline.
Oh, me and you? Okay.
See my question.
Oh, let me go back. We got 4 people who took the course in the chats. Very nice. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so do this. The two of you who want to be considered, put your Instagram name in the chat right now, and then we can note that, and then we'll figure out a fair way to give out the scholarship. But yeah, you got 4 students in the comments right now, y'all.
Scholarship.
That's very sweet. Thank you, Candace.
I see it. Like, I'm not asking.
I got to answer my question. I see it.
You said what? Oh, and
Someone
thank you
just
for
wrote,
the
I'm not
birthday
asking to
gift.
be in
He's
a
gonna be
raffle.
thrilled. You said a raffle?
Someone just wrote, I'm not asking to be in the raffle.
Oh. No, it was Melanie and Tracy that had mentioned.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. We can speak about this.
One more for Willie.
What did I do?
No, I was responding back there. Okay, there we go. Okay. Alan. Dot. All right. He said, don't delay. You can get a ring today. Hey.
Don't delay. Okay,
right,
on the question too.
Hey, we're good. Y'all said what's up with the date? Because if I get engaged and get married before you do,
why was
we were at your engagement, that's gonna be wild.
So we were thinking that I was thinking that actually earlier about Mont. I was like, if Mont barely got engaged and he gets married first, but see, I think it's different because it's neither one of our first marriage, but Monte wants to do a big old wedding. So for me, like that takes a lot of planning, takes a lot of savings. It's like more than a notion. Like I told you, if it were up to me, I would just go to the courthouse and just knock that out. But
me and mine don't want a big one, so I'm just saying
you're lucky.
So our planning. Listen,
you probably will then before.
Y'all better listen. Y'all better not still be engaged at my wedding. Like we probably all be engaged at Mont's wedding because that nigga's moving quick.
Oh, I love that.
They scouting venues and stuff already. Right, but he was planning all of that before he even proposed. So the proposal just to phase 1.
Yeah. So he gonna get engaged and married before you? Dang.
Yep. I mean, but hello, finances play a huge role. When you got it like that, you just decide where you're gonna go. Normal people like us, we gotta actually like save up and get all that stuff worked out. So the normal people.
I at least go to the courthouse before the end of the year, so that way you can get next year's tax breaks.
Hey,
all you gotta do is be married for 1 day.
Damn, it's so romantic.
Let's see, Melanie, did you put your information, your IG information? I'm still waiting on Melanie's. Okay, I guess we could move on to question number 2.
Tracy, good people.
We still on that's the first question. Yeah, because we got 26 minutes. Oh no, we got an extra 50 piece because Nayusi's
he never clarified, and there's still 10 minutes on the clock from last time.
Y'all with this foolishness.
Y'all with 10 minutes over. No, y'all were stingy the other way around. It's gonna work both ways.
I think we should split it then. I think you should split it down the middle. Half love offering, half extension. Since we can't prove which one it was. It's fair.
Yeah, I don't see Melanie's IG.
I'm happy for Tracy. Tracy, good people.
Okay. All right, so let's get to question number 2. Men over 40, do you feel that there are fewer opportunities to meet new people now?
No.
Nah, it's too many opportunities to meet new people.
I
don't want these new people. Thanos was right. We need correction, and we need to snap and get rid of some of these people. Like some of these people just
all the work that we've put in over our 40-year-old lives and gets us into so many more rooms. We have so much more reach. We have so many more resources that opportunities are not the issue. It's having too many opportunities that's the problem, because then
That
it's
makes
like,
sense.
if you got a million women that want you, that's cool, but it doesn't help you find somebody, because you still got to sort through them motherfuckers. You have to vet. You can't vet them all, and so you have to try to filter out for the top 10% that you want, and then try to vet those. It's not we don't have we definitely don't have fewer, but we also it requires that we have to invest more time when we choose to. Like, I would hate to be this, like, at 40 still trying to figure out dating. Like that's, as a man, for me, that would be terrible.
What do you mean
I just
figuring out?
Yeah, because it's like the amount of time that it would take, and just for my personality type and how I'm not a social butterfly, with as far as like I'm not really interested in women when I'm outside the house. Like, I just go outside to do whatever I'm doing. I'm not trying to, like,
Do
I
you
don't
mean
go
you
places.
wouldn't want to be single, or are you saying you wouldn't want to be figuring out how to do it?
I wouldn't want to be either single or figuring it out, because if I ain't figured it out, I'm still single. So I wouldn't want to be this old and not have somebody. That would be, shit, a waste of talent and time. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. And two, like, at 40, have companionship is valuable.
I think it depends on how it played out for you. I think what we're seeing now is you got old, because there's a lot more divorce than we used to have, and so people might have did the traditional way, got married young, and then they're getting divorced in their late 30s, around 40, and then they're getting back out in the game. Having gone through that, you're trying to figure it out again. Because if you've been away a minute, I just talked to somebody today who got divorced, and they were 10 years in and they got divorced. So they're having to figure out how to get back out here. And so, I don't know. It just depends on your situation. I think it's probably dependent on the person. But I would argue the way divorce is going, there are more people out here who are having to revisit and sort of relearn dating in this new modern age than they had to before, because they probably did it the traditional way, and now once you get back out here, it's a little different. Uh-oh.
We can still see you, right?
Yep. I was trying to be that slick. I was actually telling him to come in the office.
Oh, it's the lemontini time.
I'm gonna surprise him with something. Oh no, oh, so sad. I was saying here in the comments, put your IG in the comments. I'm not sure what you posted. I was saying put your Instagram name in the comments, like how Tracy did, like right here where you're writing it. So, birthday guy, they give me tips on the show, love offerings and show extensions. Candace faithfully gives tips, and she sent one in today, and she said, "It's for your birthday." Oh, yeah. So you got a $50 gift from Candace.
Well, thank you, Miss Candace. I so appreciate you.
Hopefully she could hear you. He said, "Thank you, Candace. I sure appreciate you." So just wanted to let you know that while I was still on the air. So,
I feel like I'm like a
so you got 50 coming. Look at that. That love just extends to you. That's awesome. Okay, there it is. I see it now. Son. Yep, I see it. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. Thanks. Not do you need anything while I'm here? Yeah, could you 5 minutes after use the restroom? Oh goodness. Oh, she gave a smiley face, babe. Okay. Thank you, Candace. That was very, very sweet of you. Okay, so let's see. All right, so the person backstage, make sure you put your camera on. Once your camera is on, I will let you on. But go ahead and turn your camera on, and then I can bring you to the stage. All right, so let's get to question number 3. So are all of you agreeing that it's not hard to meet new people over the age of 40? Okay.
Oh, you were posting it here. That is so weird. Yeah, I was seeing every other comment except that one. Maybe they thought you were spam and blocked it. I don't know. Okay, we got someone backstage, but you got to turn your camera on so I can bring you on. Okay, number 3. What do you find harder? Well, now it's kind of irrelevant. Meeting someone new or connecting deeply with them. So clearly, meeting new is not. So do you guys have issues connecting deeply with women?
Nope.
All
All
no,
right.
I don't think that's the hard part either.
All righty then. Okay, there we go. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I was just trying to listen.
Oh,
I guess you want everybody on the stage. Is that how
Did
you
you?
set up?
Well, I got to make sure you're a human being. Now that I know you're a human being, do you want to just respond audio wise, or did you just want to watch the show?
I was cleaning while I was listening. I was trying to get the vibe, and then I was gonna, if I had to participate, then I'll
Okay.
participate. But these brothers seem to be handling business, so I was like, all right. Yeah.
No problem. I had a weirdo doing some very questionable things before, so I got to make sure I see the person. You seem like you got some sense. Okay, feel free. If you do want to join, just turn your camera on, and it'll put you up on the stage. If you want to communicate backstage, you can do that as well.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing. Okay.
Likewise. All right. So she said I just be listening to. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so we're gonna go to number 4 then. Love it. We got a new face from my men's page. It's great to see guys come on. Okay, when past trauma comes up, how do you handle it in dating? I don't know that I've ever heard a guy ever admit that they have past trauma, so this would be interesting. Anybody want to tackle this one?
Past trauma and dating. I don't know. I've dated some hoes and was definitely traumatized by both of them. So, yeah.
Sorry. I can never get to my disclaimer fast enough. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much the only trauma that I've had. It's like, oh man. And then so now the next person, when I see hoe behavior, I have to remind, like, it might not be hoe behavior, it might just be something else with this person until but what I have learned in this wise age is that if it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, it's not a cow. So I tend to once I see a set behavior, it's I remove myself. I have no tolerance for those types of activities anymore. I don't judge women who want to live those types of lifestyle, but you just can't be in a relationship with me and be a hoe. Like, that's just not, those two things don't go together. It's oil and water.
So it depends on the trauma. Now this is where something you said earlier, Yonci, comes into play. If he is digging you, you start to get a little bit of grace in some situations. If you got some issues you're working through. If he is somewhat intrigued, you get some things you can get a pass on, or you at least get the opportunity to work through it. If he don't, you get what Willie just said. Oh hell no, I'm out. So it just depends. So I'm assuming we're talking about you meet somebody with trauma, not the guy having trauma, or he's trauma.
Right. So somebody asked that question. I was like, that's true. That I think it'd be interesting to answer both ways. So you can answer both ways. And Tracy says she wants to know how men deal with women who have trauma related to medical issues. She said, for example, breast cancer. I don't know that I would call that trauma. So
yeah, I don't call that trauma either.
Yeah, that's not like just like a medical issue.
Wait. Question. She said breast cancer. Are we talking about like she had a double mastectomy?
Like a physical trauma?
Yeah, like maybe that part. Because I don't know. I wouldn't know how I would deal with that.
Or maybe dealt with a traumatic situation. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, she said emotional trauma.
Oh, yeah, the same way we deal with everything else. You got to deal with that shit before we get here. Like, do the work. That's part of doing the work to get ready to date, is make sure that you have your traumas and your baggage, neatly packed and organized,
So are you
I'm sorry, go ahead, Yonci.
No, I was gonna say, so would you because she was saying she's okay sharing that it's her. Are you saying that that you feel like you have emotional trauma from that experience? Because when I think of like trauma, I guess I think of it differently than dealing with a traumatic experience, you know, because we use like trauma a lot, like, oh, I have trauma because I dealt with a narcissist, trauma or whatever. But I personally, I would not refer to that as trauma. I feel like you went through something traumatic, but I don't necessarily think that I would say I wouldn't classify you as that. Granted, I don't know you. She experienced a man that didn't want to deal with that. Yeah, and that just might have been his preference. But yeah, again, not knowing you, I wouldn't necessarily call yourself having emotional trauma.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that. That's
Like,
that's
I
just
wouldn't
a health
categorize
issue.
it.
Yeah, that's no more, like a medical trauma than like, a man having, prostate cancer. It's just something that, it's unfortunate, you got to deal with it and it sucks, but I don't think that we would consider that like trauma as in that form. The emotional piece though, that's different because typically your emotions regulate how you act and how you feel and how you show up in your relationships. And when that's the case and you've got something that's always working behind the scenes to kind of hamper or water down your emotions or affect them, that could be a problem.
I have two things I would like to say to that. More to the viewers. The first one is just basically you got to be careful with. Well, I don't disagree with the gentleman. You have to be careful when it comes to pouring out your trauma to men, or vice versa too. Because if that happens, then your relationship becomes a therapeutic relationship and not a romantic relationship. And when that happens, you can't go back because you just can't go back from that. And that's just a recipe for disaster as far as wanting to build a romantic relationship after you've built the foundation or the building blocks of a therapeutic relationship. The second thing I want to address to the young lady directly, there could be situations where your trauma is affecting him in a way where he may have had to deal with his own trauma with that. Maybe a mother or an ex or someone in his life had a situation similar to yours that he may not have he may not want to go through again, because when you're in a relationship with someone with cancer, it's not easy from the opposite side of it. I'm a cancer survivor. I've had relationships that ended because the person didn't know how to handle and the person did not want to handle what I was going through. And so I can't fault her for that. But however, I don't want to say but, however, when you look at the situation, you have to ask yourself, go down this level of why is a person not wanting to, and I don't want to say deal with you or deal with it, but what makes this person not want to be or invest in me because of my situation? Because you have to understand where they're coming from as well. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
I want to answer Garnett's question. He said, are you saying the relationship should be mainly romantic? If I'm understanding correctly, what Mikhail is saying, which is also what I teach, is that you want to start off light and fun and playful. And if you go in there, like a lot of women think, this is just for the record, not directed at all to you, Tracy. It's a question I get a lot. Women think because we bond as women through talking and sharing and opening up and we're vulnerable, that it'll make the man bond with us. But in reality, it can turn off the attraction, because let's just say you've had really bad dealings with guys in the past. He might look at you and say, you don't really have good standards, or, you must not think highly of yourself if you stayed with that guy for 3 years and he was terrible the whole 3 years. Or if you're just talking about things like at the very beginning, you're trying to build attraction. And so the more shared experiences you can have that are fun, those are historically the things that start you off with the best trajectory. But of course, if you've established a relationship, life can become hard. And yes, you have to talk about it, but that is definitely a buzzkill at the beginning to go super, super deep.
Yeah, and it's not to say that you can't go deep or can't go into those situations later. It's just more of, one, if you dump a lot of your trauma on the new person, then as a man, we're going to feel like we are suffering. We are taking we're taking the swings for the person that did you wrong. And that's not good. The second part of that is we're looking at you as someone that we have to fix, you know, and that's not something we want to do either. You know, just like a woman wouldn't necessarily want to have to go into a new relationship trying to fix a man. We don't want to really go into a situation trying to fix a woman. We will support you through your trauma, support you through those past experiences, but don't let those past experiences be our problem. And again, that's not being said in a disrespectful way. It's just, you know, if you've gone through a dude that's, you know, cheated on you, or, you know, just the most extreme situation, and then you come into my relationship and I'm a playful person, you know, I see you in the kitchen, I tap you on your booty, whatever. Don't get traumatic. Don't get triggered off of me being an abusive person, because that's what you dealt with. That type of, so that's what I'm talking about when it comes to that.
I mean, if you just look at it like, you know, you go buy a car, you get a brand new car, but then you don't want them telling you like, well, this car's maintenance is expensive and the tires are going to cost this. Like, you know, if you're going to go buy something, you're not going to want to invest your time and money into something that you know is going to come with problems. You know, so you typically want, you know, it to be something that, you know, fits what you actually want, and then fix what your needs are. Same thing with dealing with women. A guy, if I'm looking at a woman and considering somebody that, you know, I want to invest my time in, she needs to, you know, be really, really well put together, because I've done the same requisite work, and I'm also not willing to suffer for some shit that I didn't do.
Right.
Like any wounds that I have, I make it a point not to bleed on other people. That didn't, even the person that caused them. It's unfortunate that so many women aren't able to do that, but you know, women are inherently emotional. So I completely understand it. But like when I was dating, like, or it was single, I got a 30-day rule. Like you can't have a major financial crisis and you can't come to me with no emotional stuff in those 30 days, because you know, as soon as, like, a lot of times women see a guy that has their stuff together and be like, oh well, you know what, yeah, we can go out, man, but I might have to go work because like this rent I'm behind. Like I don't want to hear that shit for 30 days. Like that's not my battle. Or another common one is seeing like when people are like, when a woman has to deal with her son's father or like kids issues. Like I've seen my friends deal with stuff that I would have never imagined. Like the dad is popping up, coming over there, starting shit. Like if I know that coming into your life, I'm gonna have to like put my hands on somebody in your defense, or you know, have to defend myself, or you know, I'm being attacked by like his family or your ex or any of that other just dramatic shit, I'm not gonna be interested in you.
So Tracy says she didn't mean to make this serious. That is okay. We are here for discussions and conversations. What we are not here for is going into overtime.
This crap. Oh man.
There is a 7-minute warning, and technically I could have ended at 10 minutes early because I did go 10 minutes over last time. And clearly y'all are all about looking at the clock, as we have seen in past episodes. So just giving you that, prepare yourself to be triggered because the timer will come on 2 minutes prior. But no, serious, we do enjoy all discussions. I like questions that are submitted. So Tracy, don't even apologize. So the question, I'm going to read some of the men's answers. What do you, the trauma, it says, keep that to myself and figure out a way to handle it outside of dating. If we're talking on her end, I give reassurances because I get it. We all have a past. Hopefully we can have a conversation about it that's productive. And if it's on my end, I would hope she gives the same reassurances and can be open to the conversation. Someone else said, try to remember every woman is different, no matter how many have to prove to have the same bad behavior. Someone else said, only talk about when it's relevant. It seems to keep red flags away. Someone else said, context is everything. What triggered the past trauma? How does it come up? Conversationally, or trigger reflection or reliving, descriptive or defensive? When this comes up, it is imperative to listen intently. You have to know the root in order to appropriate the response, and it's not one size fits all. I would say for me, if it's the other person, I would hope that they're actively working on it. I think it's not enough to be like, oh, I have trauma or I have triggers. It's like, okay, well then what are you going to do? What are you going to put in place? I don't like when people just make the excuse like, well, I feel this way, therefore. I had someone who say, oh, this reminds me of what my ex did. This reminds me of what my ex did. And that gets old after a while. It's like, okay, well, I'm not your ex, and either deal with me or don't deal with me. But there are limits to what I can handle as far as somebody else. In regards to my trauma, because I'm sure we all have some on some level, I don't think it's the other person's responsibility to deal with it. For me, if there are certain things that I say, like, oh, I know I need this, or I might be really sensitive to this, I just try to communicate more. Like, hey, I'm struggling. So they could be sensitive to me, but not expect them to completely like tiptoe around it. Just be like, just give me a second. This hit me a little harder. Or, I might be tripping because of what I've been through, but let me clarify and ask that I might do a little more on my end, but I wouldn't expect someone to walk on eggshells around me. Because I learned that's not healing. That's just putting lots of bumpers around yourself. Okay, let's see. That was going to be a question for anyone to answer. Folks who are actively working on their traumas probably shouldn't date right. I think it depends on the severity of it, because I think we're all working through stuff. And some things I think you can only really heal in a relationship if it's a healthy relationship. So I wouldn't say like one size fits all as far as not dating if you're going through trauma. But if you can't like function, if you can't control your emotions, maybe something to that degree, yeah, you shouldn't maybe be dating right now. Yeah. I notice like if you're dating someone and they keep bringing up the same situation over and over, especially if the trauma is related to another person, that's a big red flag. Like everything reminds them of that. Oh, that's what she did. Nope, then she did this there. Like,
well, people keep bringing up your old trauma, like from panels where they bring up old trauma and situations. That could be painful too. I just want to
sometimes that happens when there's no closure, like if they don't know why the pastor called, type of a thing, like
I'm trying to deal with my trauma, and I just can't, people won't let me get past it. So.
Close them doors.
And from a
Ushers,
expert medical opinion, not advice, but opinion.
Trauma.
No, well, I'm just saying that
trauma.
If you're seeing a therapist for the same trauma for a year, it's not working.
Might need a new therapist.
You should not have a relationship with a therapist like you do with a regular person. You shouldn't. And therapists know that. Therapists
that's
will
the
keep
longest
one person
relationship
for
they've had.
Years and years, but
it's the longest relationship you had with your therapist. Dang, yes.
Yeah, some people will get out of a relationship.
I don't know how I feel
and
about
they'll be in a relationship with their therapist, not like a romantic relationship.
He said the same trauma, though, Willie. The same
substitute that trauma by having this therapist for a long period of time, and it's not going anywhere. And by contract, the therapist is not supposed to be with you for that long period of time.
What if your therapist looked like Rihanna?
Well, I'm gonna run.
I was just saying, don't be the client. Don't be the patient.
No, I saw what Rihanna did the last time she was in an enclosed space with somebody. He almost cost that man his
career. She's past her trauma. Y'all keep bringing up her old trauma.
That's not her old trauma. She deserved that. Like, did you not watch the documentary? She hit him first. He hit her ass back. I don't have an issue with that at all.
So, anywho,
now Shakari, the runner, she's going through some stuff for hitting on her dude.
She's straight lied, and it's on video.
Right.
That's how Oak Cliff women act, bro. Like, the only people who are surprised by what she did are people who don't know where she's from. Like, those are like, that's how women that's how women act out there.
Where's she from?
The only thing that shocked me about the whole situation was she's scared to go to jail. Because I ain't never met a girl from Oak Cliff who was scared to go to jail for a night. Like, especially when you know you're going to bond out the next morning. You're not going to get a PR bond because of a DV case. So it's probably going to be like $500. She got that. So for her to be tripping about going to jail, that's what was surprising to me. But she's 25, so maybe. But that girl.
Where's she from?
Huh?
Where's she from?
Oak Cliff. It's my home neighborhood. It's a small part of Dallas that is known to be rather rough.
You got to have your stuff together if you're going to be over there at night.
Well, you can't. I'm not.
Here we go. Come on, Thanos.
I love it.
Thanos was right.